John Maxwell says leadership is not about titles, positions, or flowcharts. It's about one life influencing another. Hello, everybody. My name is Justin Lethby. I am the E Professor. And today we are going to talk about the 5 levels of leadership. I bring this to you because, well, hopefully people I'm talking to sit at various levels of leadership, whether you are a leadership position at your association, maybe you own a brokerage, maybe you're a part of a team. And all of us to some degree are working with customers and clients, and all of those do have an ability to have influence and or leadership. So I really felt it was important to make sure we came in here and kind of helped you guys understand what that leadership look like, what that leadership conversation is in our world, and hopefully how we can try to get to the various levels of leadership, the highest level, or even to at least understand why we're getting the reactions, or we're getting the results we're getting, or we're getting the the outcomes that we are getting for what we are doing, because it will depend on those levels of leadership that we're talking about. Leadership is about authority, or leadership is about influence, not authority. This model by John Maxwell is coming from the book Developing the Leader Within You 2.0. And it has basically 5 levels of conversation: position, permission, production, people development, and then the pinnacle. And we're going to talk about all of those. So with that being said, let's just jump straight into it. And level 1 is position. You hold a title: realtor, exec board member, owner, broker, whatever it is. You have these titles in place, and people will follow you because you are at that particular title, right? They're doing it based on obligation, or in the John Maxwell world, they term it as the rights, right? You have to follow me to do this. This is what I'm telling you to do. It's more of an authoritative type level of conversations. Again, please understand, when we talk about these, we're not talking about good or bad. We're just talking about the levels. And we see this a lot in all industries of life. But for me, when I look at this as real estate, I see this more and more. Well, I see it more and more. I'll be honest, I see it more and more, where people, they acquire for a title, they acquire for a position, and they think that gains them something. And it does, for sure, gain them an influence, or gains them a badge, a moniker, whatever. And again, remember, there's not right or wrong for this, what's going there. But I will tell you, in here, when you look at this, it's going to be the lowest level of leadership or influence that you're going to have on someone, because they are doing what you tell them to do out of obligation, that they're doing what you tell them to because they feel like they have to. And hopefully throughout this, you're going to see that, other levels, other things are going to get better results, bigger results, more powerful results. So that's level 1. I'm going to ask you through each one of these, reflect and think about each level, and 1, who do you have that level of influence with or leadership with? And 2, think about the people that influence you or have leadership, and are you at that level, or are you at a different level? And the other part of that question is, I want you to ask specifically this one: what steps, how can I move to beyond that level of conversation, right? Again, I'm going to tell you right now, because I know I do have just a lot of individual folks that I talk to on a basis, who just have clients and customers. This matters for you too, because if they're hiring you just for the title or the position you hold, it's fine, but you're going to want more results. You're going to want more interaction. You're going to want more of that relationship building. So that is level two. Level two is what's considered permission, or what I really consider a relationship level leadership, where this is permission leadership becomes a relationship. This level is crucial whether you are an office head, a team leader, or an agent who leads clients through transaction. It's about earning trust and respect, making people feel valued and understood. I know a lot of realtors that do extremely well on this, right? That's part of the reason why we're in this business is we love that relationship. I actually do this a lot. I love building those relationships. I love trying to improve our relationships, getting to know people, getting to understand them, understanding what their needs, their desires, or wants are in these conversations where you can come out and then establish that that bilateral relationship conversations, right? And I think, to be honest with you, while this is great, a lot of us have a lot of success in our business because we have built that relationship business, right? They know us, they like us, they trust us, they'll come back to us as long as we continue on with that conversation. And that also goes for my leaders here that are listening to you in the office, whether you are a leader by title or just a leader by what you do. You will see that in there a lot of times because they're relationship type conversations. You have built that respect and that admiration from inside there. So that's another one. Now, level three is considered production. And I do think a lot of us in the real estate industry, real estate industry, we do this quite a bit, right? There's production level, right? We're it's done one of two ways inside here, and both are extremely powerful. These these are based on goals or production levels that we're trying to hit, right? So this is where you're focusing on results. This is where you are focusing on improving the team concept or exceeding client expectations, right? These are those goals, those value propositions that we have put in place where we're trying to establish that from an office perspective. When you're dealing with this from a client and customer perspective, this is where you're trying to get them to their end result, buying a home, selling a home, investing in their first property, whatever it is. That's what you're trying to get to, and that's the production. And these are great because once you accomplish it, you have established that level, you have established that respect. And you see this a lot in our world because you will see people in an office teaching based on the results they get, right? Here's how I sold 10 transactions in the month of March. I did X, Y, and Z, right? I did these 3, 4, 5 steps and I got this out here. You will also see this where when you're building teams or you're building an office where you will see team goals, office goals. You'll even see competitions inside it when people are chasing those production level conversations and building that level three leadership where people are trying to chase proven models to attain those goals so they can win the contest or do whatever, right? These are extremely great because level three production is establishing proven models that they know that work today, well, in the past, today, or even that they know will work in the future. These are tangible outcomes that can come through. These are, I think, probably where we spend most of our time in all fairness of what goes on. So again, remember our 5 levels. We have position, which is a title. We have permission, which is relationship. We're having production right now, which is results driven conversation. The fourth one is where I love. This is kind of where I probably get stuck a lot of times as an instructor, as a trainer, as an educator by heart. I love level 4, which is people development, which this is, it's considered the reproduction level, which is where we're trying to do is we are trying to empower others and becoming that future leader in the office, in the team, in the other. My dad, when I grew up as a kid, he always told me, this sticks in my head all the time. He goes, he has one job: find somebody that can replace him. Right? That was always how he looked at that stuff, and that's where that sits for me. So I love the people development. You can do this in so many ways. You can have coaching in place, mentorship for your office, individual mentorship or group mentorship exists in there. You can be doing this to giving your staff empowering opportunities to see opportunities and make changes and make audits inside that area. You are literally investing in your office because you know that the growth of your business is going to be directly related to the growth of your people, your agents, your staff, your whoever that you're working with, even outside partners, business partners like our mortgage, our attorneys, our inspectors, whoever, right? All those people we partner with, title, whoever we partner with, they are our future, literally are our future in our business. So you do want to make sure you have that in place and you are moving forward in that regards and growing those people. I love doing it through having systematized trainings. Now, again, a lot of us don't always have this knack to be a trainer. So you want to hire someone like myself or other great people, but you also can leverage people in your office, challenge them to train on something that they know, something that they're empowered by. I mean, I remember within probably 3 months of me being in real estate, I'm really good with tech. And the office said, here, I want you to teach this. And I was a trainer, so it wasn't a big deal, but they literally empowered me to go take on this challenge. And it helped me grow in the leadership in the office on a daily basis. I had more and more influence. I had more and more teams. I had more and more people I was working with on a daily basis. It was great. But don't forget those mentorship opportunities, whether individualized or group. I'm a big fan of group mentorship. I think it's great to have group think and group share, to have that happen in place to make that happen. But I would also say coaching works as well, because when you are looking to grow those people from an association level, from a brokerage level, even from your client level, helping coaching them through the process and coaching them through what is expectations and how to get beyond their limitations is extremely helpful. So I want to ask you, when you're looking to develop that level 4 development, who are you mentoring right now, or who can you mentor? Who can you help become that person? And also, again, flip it on the other end. Who can you seek mentorship opportunities from? Who can you seek opportunities to get yourself better in, right? This is kind of it's a ladder, or, in the example they give, it's more of a pyramid, but I look at it more like a ladder because there's people that you're going to help bring up and there's people that are going to help bring you up, right? Rising tide raises all boats. So you have that in place where this can be extremely helpful for you. Now, the last one in here is level 5, and it's considered the pinnacle. Now, when we look at this at the level 5, this is the question I've been asking myself probably the most lately. What's that legacy? What are you trying to do? How are you trying to impact? So when you are done doing this, you've retired or you moved on to whatever's next, what is that conversation people are having? What influence have you had in your world, right? Are people, are your clients referring you to their friends and family? Are they doing this to their generation of kids, saying, hey, do this? Where does that sit? Also, this is good for your brokerages. What are they doing? How are they looking at you? What's that legacy look like? What does that look like in your world? This Pinnacle 5 is probably one of the hardest ones, I think, to achieve, but will have the most life affecting effect on all this going out here. This should hopefully be the one you achieve or drive for, because it will be a generational leadership conversation. You look at folks out there that have these folks that are there. I'm a big sports guy, Michael Jordan. He's definitely had a pinnacle leadership level conversation because people still reference him now, and he's been done for years. You will see folks like John Maxwell, who talks about leadership. People reference him all the time. Generations and generations of people know him. and will continue for a very long time. So think about that in our world, in the real estate world. Who has that effect? Who has that generational effect where people are referencing that throughout time? I will tell you, for us in our world, this is sometimes the hardest one to see because a lot of times how we live our business and we work in the associations, they're very time centric. But when you sit back and think about it, you're going to see people in there. I can think of several in my personal world that have had generational effect on the leaderships that they have done within their office, within the association, within their clients. They are there and they have that in place. I think you should strive to join that and be part of that. And I'm going to ask you, how do you want to be remembered in the real estate industry? How and what steps can you take to start building that pinnacle, that legacy in your world? John Maxwell says leadership is influence. It always has been, it always will be. That does not mean that you have to have a quote unquote leadership position, a title. You can do this in so many ways. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I was literally just listening before I came on here. I was listening to John Maxwell talk about this, and this is kind of where this stirred this from. If you look at all 5 levels and you try to see where you sit in this, and you look at it at the various conversations at a individual people level, at a at a brokerage level, at an association level, at whatever levels you look at it, you're probably going to be a little frustrated because you probably sit with each one of these levels at different people, different opportunities, different businesses that you are doing. You probably sit with all of these. And it's not necessarily about those being right or wrong. It's about being where there's at, and then maybe asking yourself one simple question: how do I get them to the next level? Right? How do I move it up one notch? Right? How do I kick it up, so to speak? So that's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about those people that are there and make sure you understand how you can move forward. As I said, John Maxwell says leadership is influence, always has been, always will be. I'm always here to help you. I hope you guys got something from this. These are the things that I truly feel energized about and want to make sure you guys have opportunities. So if you ever do have questions, please reach out to me. If you have comments and you see this in YouTube or Instagram or wherever, please, please, please come out there and have that conversation there. I will answer your questions for it. If you want, you can just reach out to me specifically. I'm always here to help. I hope you guys got something from this, and we'll see you next week.